Well, joining me in the studio is security analyst Roy Ohirieve. Good morning. Thank you for joining us on TVC Breakfast.
Good morning. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely. Now, when you look at that report by our correspondent, talks about the Senate racing towards finding solutions to address issues of insecurity in the country. But then let's go back to a statement made, which is on almost all of the front pages of the papers this morning, a statement made by the Speaker of the House of Reps, talking about Femi Gbajabiamila. He said that every time a citizen going out about their business is killed or kidnapped, loses their property or livelihood, we have failed in our obligation. This is quoting him verbatim, what he said. And first of all, let's get your reaction to his statement before we begin to look at the solutions that is being proffered by the Senate.
Well, thank you very much. I disagree with the statement. I disagree with the statement in the fact that when you say every time a citizen gets killed, it shows that government has failed. That is, we have failed. He is talking as part of government. But I want to rephrase it. I want to rephrase it that anytime a citizen that is related to those in government dies, government has failed.
Now,
if citizens that are dying in Nigeria daily, if I give you a figure, I know. If you give me the figure, you know. Within your fare that you know, they will be bigger and greater than the number of citizens that are causing concerns. People that are causing concerns, especially when it's kidnapped, within a few months, you hear that the case has been wrapped up. What about the barbers that have been kidnapped? What about the transporters that they stop the vehicle, carry 40 people into the bush? They settle for themselves, borrow money to settle for themselves. Some are killed during the course of the kidnap. But when a high-profile person is kidnapped and he starts getting into Abuja, then governors start making statements. I disagree with that statement.
He is talking about every citizen. He's not capturing just
how many years ago did we enter into kidnapping? Where was he making such statement? What has he done? No governor has the right to talk about kidnapping now, except they show us what they have done.
They have no right?
Your right to speak is when you deliver governance. You were voted into power to execute the full mantle of authority. If you see that it's not working for you, then why can't you resign? Have we not heard of people resigning from government positions, public office, because they can't execute what they're supposed to do?
But you would agree with me that they have been making efforts towards addressing this issue. When
the efforts they are making are stalled by the political quagmire that they put themselves. The efforts they are making, the bandits, who are they? The kidnappers, who are they? We have ungoverned spaces. We, private security practitioners, especially some of us that have been in service, and those that have been built up in private security industry, they have been lamenting that there are unpoliced areas where elements are building up their own government. You go to some places, you park your car, you pay. You go to the bushes, you are a farmer, you pay to harvest your crops. You want to fish, you pay to move the fish out to the market. You want to do anything, even if you want to put a transformer in a community, you pay. Where is the government? Didn't they see that we are paying taxes to two people, two sets of people, the government and the government? Where have they been to quash this? Now, towards political era, all of these ungoverned spaces are still used to populate illegal elements from outside, from inside, to show power, superiority over opponents. And after you get into government, you forget about them. How do they feed? How do they take their drugs and everything? Then you want them to sit down in the bush, in the uncompleted buildings and all those ungoverned places to do what? Drink water? While you are in Abuja flying flashy cars. No. They will come out as criminals. So if we want to attack them, we should show the effort, less of speech, more of actions.
More of actions in what sense? Are you saying that government has not shown action? It has made budgets to address these issues? Aren't these actions on the part of government? Even the governors have even tried to, perhaps speak with some of these bandits to address these issues. Aren't these actions?
Very good. You have said two things. They propose budgets. The budgets, are they meant to execute? If they are meant to execute, is it in totality? Now, we are talking about technology. There are different excellent technology that you can deploy today that a kidnapper cannot move an inch. Where were we when the Americans came in to remove their person and walk away? There are things that you can deploy, and so many people have proposed these things. They are in Abuja, they are on the right desk, but somebody is looking at something else. Okay? Right now, you made another statement. You said after the budget, they are talking to. How can you be talking to a bandit? How can you be talking to a terrorist? How can you, a government that have the totality of control of your space, and you have relationship with the ECOWAS, the UN, if it gets beyond you, you have opportunity to expand into the private security catchment that you have. There are private security people carrying arms different parts of the world today. They are licensed, they are authorized, and they know the terrain, and they have their documents to protect. So if you say they are talking to them, are you supposed to be talking to a criminal, or the criminal is supposed to be talking to you? Are you a government?
Big question there. But then we are searching for a sustainable solution.
Yeah, sure.
And even some of the senators, some of them are even against this issue of having conversation or compensating those bandits and criminals, as we have seen some persons do in recent times. And they say they are searching for sustainable solutions. And some of them are saying that perhaps we need to start speaking with for outside intervention, saying that maybe we cannot handle this on our own and we should seek help from outside sources.
Well, we have been getting help. Nigeria has been getting help from international intelligence community. Nigeria also is blessed with persons that have clout and control in different parts of the world. Go to China, you will see some Nigerians that have control. Go to Taiwan, go to US, Canada, everywhere, Russia. You will see Nigerians that can stand before such a government and say, can you do this for us? And speedily too. Why do you think those things don't work? Our body language needs to be corrected. We need to be people-centered. We need to be solution-centered. And we need to be speed-driven. We are not speed-driven. Some of the solutions that you are applying today, they're supposed to apply 10 years ago. The bandits, they already have the terrorists, they already have the counter to some of all these solutions. Then you have seen the porosity of the military morale. Then so many soldiers... Which is another thing that the Senate is asking to be addressed. Yes, so every senator, every governor, every president in Nigeria today, they grew up in the ranks of the political class. They don't give themselves opportunity if you have not paid your dues. When you were paying your dues before you became a senator, a House of Rep member, a governor, or whatever, minister, did you not see these things? Did you not have your jotter by your side to say, no, when it's my turn, no, when I get there, no, when I get there? You are there now. What's distracting you? Everything that we need to do in Nigeria, it's on the table. If you get 10 people together, let me give you a short example. Recently, I think for the last 1 week or so, there was a meeting in Lagos here with all the people concerned for community policing. Mm-hmm. Go and check the list. Go and see if the private security sector was involved. Go and check that list. Go and see if there was any international liaison that was involved. Check that list. All the village heads that they were calling together, those village heads, they don't communicate to the people. How many of them live in the villages? How many of them lives in the nook and cranny? You have to reach out to persons, organizations, groups that you know are stakeholders. If you go to an example, a troubled area, there are people that layers for peace in such places. Were they on those meetings? You just brought in people, gave them lagues, and say you are talking about security. Security is a deliverable that must involve those concerned. If my insecurity situation is bedeviling me, When you say move left, I will move left. When I don't understand what you want me to do, before you know it, I become a problem towards the solution you are trying to create. And that is what we have now, because parents cannot report their children. Some parents see children come home with drugs, with weapons. They see them talk about one deal or the other. They see them with laptops doing that. Who are they going to talk to when he has not been paid for 3 months' salary himself as a parent? Who is he going to talk to when he sees the body language of government? It's not people-centered. We must be people-centered, and we must do it speedily.
Which a lot of persons have also talked about, and the Speaker of the House of Reps also mentioned that, talking about we must be centered on, we shouldn't be biased in terms of our religion, our tribe, or what our political party, that we need to come together as one, as a nation, to address this issue, which is also a reflection of being people-centered. And the question on the lips of many is it challenging to achieve that when we talk about we putting our differences aside? You know how it is when it comes to our biases in terms of religion, in terms of whatever thing we're talking about, if it is tribe, you know how challenging it is, setting that aside. If we are to do that, what would it take to put everything aside? We saw the confab, the 2014 confab, where everybody on a roundtable, there were reports given. And to adopt that, we are seeing that there are some rejecting and some saying we should adopt this. And it's also springing questions. How do we ensure that we are Nigeria-centered, not talking about where we come from or what we believe in?
Yes, let me say this, and I'll say it without fear or favor. Nigeria does not have a religious problem. Nigeria does not have an ethnic problem. Nigeria does not have those problems. These people that took over from the military governments, they have seen those pockets of friction. That is usual. If all of us sell fish in the same market, we will see someone that is selling a different kind of fish, and we will have friction with that person, especially if the person is making sales. The Christian community that I grew up, where I was born to see, they go to the mosques when somebody is doing wedding. They go there when somebody is doing a birthday. The Muslims come to the church. My mother is a Muslim. She's Fulani. My dad is Edo. He's a Christian. They got married and they enjoy that relationship. In-laws, they relate. When we started to throw these things to build up the embers and increase the flame, politicians have seen those little frictions. And that's why you see social media is agog. Quickly, with fake news, all those things, they throw it up. They have built up a media team everywhere they are, so that they counter one another. And this thing is affecting us, the citizens. They should stop it. The Christian and the Muslim community, if you look at the Bible, look at the Quran, there are meeting points there. We should increase the meeting points. This last Christmas, did you not see Muslims going to churches? The last Salah, did you not see Christians going to show love also? But when it's time for our rulers, I'm talking about 30 years ago, and those they have been grooming to come and take over from them. This is their weaponry against the people. They use it to destabilize the peace and tranquility of Nigeria
This is a very weighty statement.
Yeah, it's in the media. I said I'm saying it without fear or favor. Once you see anything between a Muslim and a Christian in Nigeria, they will throw it up as it's Indigo and Hausa.
But insecurity has nothing to do with religion or tribe.
Where do you think the mammoth violence comes from? If you see any insecurity, catch someone that kidnapped a vehicle, that snatched a vehicle. He's a car snatcher. Just arrest him now. And if he's in the north, somebody just says, his name is Emeka. That's how they do. That case of car snatch will be like a case of murder. Take a Hausa man in the north, in the west, in the east. Let them commit a crime. You will just hear that Hausas are like this, Fulanis are like this. We don't look at the crime. Because that is the narrative that causes the violence and escalates it. Then people start making money for security votes, intervention votes.
Beyond the politicians, as Nigerians, we need to change our orientation towards the things. We should see ourselves as one first and deal with issues as they are, not throwing up sentiments. That is what we are saying.
The last 2 generations of Nigerians, unfortunately, has been geared towards a beggarly position where they are giving hand to mouth. So if you get to an area, somebody just parks a flashy car, you will see people running to that place to get something, and he just winds down his car and start giving it. We will need to purge ourselves from this slavery that we have belonged to, because we wait for the whistle to be blown and an order to be given. Nigerians are intelligent. Nigerians are disciplined people. Nigerians are one of the joy of the world. The whole world, wherever this new administration in the US, can't you see the placement of Nigerians in strategic positions?
Right.
So we have failed to also remove ourselves from that manipulation, the manipulated position that we find ourselves. We must begin to look at ourselves as Nigerians and behave like that.
Right. Now, one of the solutions that the Senate is also proffering is the rejigging of security architecture as well. And some persons have come up to say perhaps we also need to look at tinkering with the Constitution.
Well, for the Constitution, everything runs out of use if it is not implemented as should be. Let me give you an example of fashion. So many people felt we should tinker our fashion. And before you know what's happening, the dressing became immoral. And people now started to say, can we go back to how our mothers used to dress? What kind of dressing is this? Can you first apply the details of this constitution that we have? Are we abusing it? What are the areas of abuse? Can we implement it? Then we look at the century that we live in now and see the implementations of some of those that we are giving 100% and say these are the areas we need to change. So many things have not been implemented. What stopped bursary? What stopped so many things in the university, education, health? What killed all of those things? Water board. I used to open the tap, drink water from there when I was coming from primary school. What stopped all those things? Because of our corrupt and criminal nature. Can we stop to take bribes? Can we stop to manipulate the people? Can we concentrate on the constitution we have first and effectively operate it? You talked about tinkering and rejigging the security architecture. Let me ask you a question. What part of our security architecture today that is not in global practice? The whole world has an NIA. The whole world has an NSA. The whole world has a DSS, EFCC. The whole world has a police, traffic police, investigation police, SFU. The whole world has a mobile policeman in their own language. The whole world has local police like the Lagos state-owned, and all of that. We have it. What is happening is we are trying to change the tradition of such organizations. You see what happened in the army. Thank God this has just corrected it. If they stick to it, the army will get stronger. Now, they tend to abuse the tradition of such places. Look at the police. They are just starting theirs now. We are hearing of extension, and tomorrow you hear something. Why can't you allow things to be in status quo? Then you see challenges in status quo and reject it to the present constitution that we are. Anything they want to bring in, it will fail unless they implement. Why did I join the army? I saw Major Okwazu next to my dad's street. Any noise around there, he comes out with his gun, the barrel shoots. He gave my dad the opportunity to buy from the police. My dad shoots. And in the area, everybody's afraid of Major Okwazu. Neat, his car is very clean. Some of us say we must join the army. You can't talk to this man anyhow. What happened to that veteran life that military men live when they leave the military? How are they taken care of? Then there are children that are joining the military. What do you think they are coming to do? To exploit. And the people that are generals today, they don't want to go. Where are they going to? There's no veteran life. So they exploit. Everybody is exploiting to help themselves. No life for the pensioner. We hear government is borrowing from pension. So where are we? What are the promises to be loyal, to be disciplined, and to be honest? Where are the promises?
That is one key issue that has to be addressed if we are to move forward. Thank you so much, Roy Okidebe, for your time. We must leave the conversation here. So much has been said.